We are waiting for Facebook. Now it's there. We are live. If y'all didn't believe it, somebody told you it wasn't going to happen. If you didn't believe it, if you had any doubt in your mind, you're wrong. We are here. I knew we was going to be live again today. We are live again today. Hope everybody made it through their Friday and is ready for an amazing weekend that we got ahead of us. I mean, you can see, if you look behind me, you can see there's an amazing weekend. That's the shape of an amazing weekend out there. You see those? I like when the clouds are fluffy like that. So we got the fluffy clouds. We got the clear sky. You can see the blue in the sky right there. You can see the palm trees on the roof over my right shoulder right here. So listen, it's a beautiful weekend about to happen. Hope everybody's had a great Friday. We're going to get into this material as we always do. Y'all know what time it is. It's 5:15 p.m. Eastern, which is when we go live every single day. Y'all know who I am, and if you don't, I'm going to reintroduce myself. If you do, I'm going to reintroduce myself, and if you don't, I'm going to formally introduce myself in a moment. So as y'all coming in, tell me your name and location in the comment section. Instagram, y'all know what it is. Y'all know the routine. Tell me your name and location in the comment section. We're going to get into this material in like 30 seconds because I'm not waiting for people to come in. Everybody knows the program. Everybody knows the routine. Everybody knows the pattern. 5:15 p.m. Eastern. If you late, y'all know what it is. Early is to be on time is to be late, and late is to be forgotten. All right, we don't even remember the people who are late. So what we about to do here today is get into some game that I give y'all every single day here on this live, and I'll tell you who I am and why I'm doing it in a moment. Evan checking in from Princeton. Is that Princeton, New Jersey? Shout out to Princeton, New Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. I think you're talking about Jersey. That's the only Princeton I know about, unless you're Princeton to school. Lauren checking in from Florida. Shout out to Florida, of course. My name is Drake Baldwin. For those who don't know me, I am some people know me as Dre all day. I'm a former 9-year professional basketball player, played overseas 9 years. I'm an author of 26 books. I have performed 4 TED Talks. And you don't know what a TED Talk is, go to dreallday.com/TED and you can see all of them right now. Or go to toomuchconfidence.com. You can see them right now as well. What else have I done, man? I've published over 15,000 pieces of content online over the years. I do speaking, I do coaching, I do consulting, I create products, I have content on the internet. I do a whole lot of other things that I don't need to talk about here because this ain't really about me. But I do all this stuff. Brandon from Crestview was good. All this stuff is under the umbrella of this whole philosophy, this brand, this business that I created that is called Work on Your Game. For those of you who don't know what Work on Your Game is, that's all right. I'm going to tell you what it is. Work on Your Game is this whole mindset tool that I created when I was playing sports, and I've transferred that not only to people who play sports, but also people in the business world. And it's all about taking the mindset necessary to be in the top 1% of what you do, which is what you must be to be a professional athlete, and translate that mentality to business, use that mentality in your everyday life, and for those of you who are athletes, to use that same mentality in sports. Now, to work on your game, whole philosophy, first of all, I wrote a book on it. One of my 26 books is this book right here. I'll tell you about this later, if time permits. But this philosophy is for 3 specific types of people. So I'm going to describe the 3 people that I'm talking to every time I come on this live, every time I write a book, every time I write an article, make a video, etc. 3 specific types. Number 1, you got to be one of these 3, not all 3. Number 1, you feel like you need more game. You feel like you need more skill, more ability. Number 2, you feel like you have game, but for whatever reason, you're not performing and showing your game when it matters. So you need to step your performance up even though the skill is there. And number 3, you feel like you have game and you perform, but for whatever reason, you're not getting the kind of attention that you think you deserve. So you have a attention/marketing/promotion challenge. So any one of these 3 people, you need more skill, you need more performance, or you need more recognition. If you're one of these 3 people, then anything that I talk about under the whole work on your game philosophy is meant for you. So what we are talking about here today, if you're watching me on Facebook, y'all hit that share button, that like button, and you can comment, tell me where you're checking in from. And y'all see the topic right above on Facebook, on Instagram. Y'all see the topic right down here in the bottom. The topic here today is professionals do not need motivation. So for those of you who are pros at what you do, or you claim to be a pro at what you do, understand that if you're looking for motivation, then you're slipping out of the professional realm. Like you're stepping outside of what you're supposed to be doing. I'm gonna explain what I mean when I say professional as well in a moment. And those of you who are amateurs and you plan on becoming professionals at what you do, understand that professionals do not need motivation. Professionals do not seek motivation. Professionals are not on YouTube looking for a motivational hype up video before they go to work every single day. If you're doing that, you are an amateur. I'm going to explain to you why professionals don't need motivation, how professionals don't need motivation, and what instead professionals actually look for, what professionals actually do that makes them professional. So first of all, let's get into a quick definition here of what we're talking about when I say professional. There are two different definitions of professional that I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to make sure you understand both. First of all is the letter of the definition. The letter of the definition means you look it up in a dictionary and just read what it says. The letter of the definition of professional means a person who does something as one's main paid occupation. So if you get paid and that's your main way of making money, then that thing is your profession. All right, so if you drive a bus for a living and that's how you put food on your table, you're a professional bus driver. If you fix computers, you're a professional computer fixer. If you clean toilets, you're a professional toilet cleaner. If you play football, you're a professional football player. So that's the letter of the definition. So that is part of it. Because if you want to get paid for what you do and be a professional at it, you better be able to deliver at a certain level. And also not a level of skill, but also a certain level of consistency. Because why would somebody pay you if you're not consistently doing your job? That makes no sense, right? And if you ever been in a job and somebody wasn't consistently doing the right thing, what happened to them? They usually get fired. Now, here's the spirit of the definition of professional. This is one is the work on your game brand definition of professional. And this is one you need to keep in mind. A professional is a person who shows up every single time and does their job regardless of how they're feeling. Excuse me. That's the definition of a professional. So when I say professional, that's what I'm talking about. Because here's what you got to understand. If you understand the spirit of the definition and you show up every single time and do your job, then the letter of the definition, getting paid for it, that's going to happen automatically. All right. You ain't going to have to try to get paid for what you do if you're consistently showing up and doing your job. All right. That's going to happen automatically because you're doing it. And as long as you got game. That's why I said three types of people. Person who has game, needs performance, needs recognition. So as long as you got that game and you're doing it consistently, you're performing consistently, what happens? You get recognized and then you get the outcomes you want. So you see how all this stuff works together? I'm good at this. In case y'all didn't know, I'm real with this. So anyway, what we're talking about here today, as I said, is why the professionals do not need motivation. This is all under, you can put this under the umbrella of the principle called the be, do, have principle. I talked about that in my book, Working Your Game. I touched on it also in my Mirror Motivation book, which I'll tell you how you can get both of these books for free if you stay to the end of this presentation I'm giving right now. The be, do, have principle is a very simple one. Is that in life, a lot of people start off by deciding what they want, which is a good idea. Because if you don't know what you want, why would you take any action? If you have no outcome, why would you even do anything? If you have no desire, you have no reason for doing something, then why would you take action? Why would you work? Why would you get up? Why would you do anything? You probably wouldn't. So everyone has some kind of idea of what they want. Some people have very specific ideas. Some people have vague ideas. But everybody has some idea of wanting something. That's why we do anything. Or you're listening to me right now because it's something you want. Or you go to the store because it's something you want. You open the refrigerator because it's something you want. You turn on the TV, it's something that you want. Most people have that part down, wanting things. Then the other part, here's where most people still stick around. At least anybody who's listening to me sticks around. You understand you can't get something for nothing in life. So you realize you got to do something. I got to take some action. If I want some money, I'm probably going to have to do some work. If I want people to like me, I'm probably going to have to be a likable person. If I want somebody to answer the phone, I'm probably going to have to make some phone calls. So you realize you have to do something in order to get the things that you want. So usually, this is what most people do. They decide that they want certain things, and then they start taking action around whatever they think is going to help them get that outcome. And this sounds like a very logical, reasonable thing to do. And guess what? It is. It is very logical and it's very reasonable. Here's the challenge. Being logical and reasonable and just stopping there probably is not going to get you what you want in life. And anybody who's listening to me right now can probably attest to that. There's another step that most people don't follow. This is the third one, and this is the one that you should actually do first because these work in reverse. The first one is, who do you need to be? Instead of saying, what do I need to do? I want to make $1,000 by Thursday. Or instead of saying, what do I need to do to make $1,000? Instead, ask yourself, who do I need to be? What type of person do I need to be? How do I need to approach the actions that I take? How do I need to approach the people that I talk to? What kind of energy do I need to carry myself with? When you change who you are being as a person, then you will take different actions, or you can take the same actions with a different energy, so the result ends up being completely different, and then you have what you want. So this whole concept, what I'm talking about here today, goes under the be, do, have principle. And I want you to understand that if you want to be a professional, and here's why. If you want to be a professional, you got to start being a professional right now. So if you're an amateur, fill in the blank, whatever you do right now, but you want to be a professional one, you got to start carrying yourself, being a professional at it, even before you start getting paid for it. That's what I mean when I say be, do, and have. So you can't just say, well, what do the professionals do? Let me start doing it. First of all, you got to get your mind right. You got to put your mentality in the right space. When your mind's in the right space, then you take the actions. That's when the results start coming. So make sure you're keeping that in mind with everything I'm talking about here today. And this is not just about the pretty stuff that you see on TV or you see on social media. It's everything, the entire being of being a professional. You got to adopt that mindset up front before you become one. And if you are already a professional, you don't have a professional mindset, you better hurry up and fix yourself, because you will get discovered, you will get outed, and they will throw you out of there. So point number one, the topic today is that professionals do not need motivation. First thing you got to understand is this is what you're signing up for. And what I mean by that is when you sign up for a job, that means you're signed up for the job. All of the job, not just the part that's fun to you, not just the part that you enjoy, not just the part that is convenient for you, not just the part that is comfortable for you. You're signing up for all of the job, which means before you sign up for a job, you better find out what the job is. Don't think that the job is just the fun and games part that you saw in the brochure. Don't think it's just the part that somebody told you about that's fun and easy and seems very low pressure. Don't think that the job is just the part that looks easy and comfortable for you, because, listen, if that was the whole job, then why doesn't everybody have that job? If the job was really that easy, why doesn't everybody have it? If the job was really that simple and there was no grind, there was no hard work, there was no test in that job, there was no capital J-O-B to that job, then why doesn't everybody have a job? Why is it even available to you if the job is that simple? So you need to find out. It is your job to do the research and find out what all goes into a job before you sign up for a job, or before you even try to sign up for a job, so that you know what you're getting into. All right, the last thing you want is to get into something and then realize that you only had 40% of the information. Or what you thought it was, yeah, that's part of it, but there's another part that you didn't know nothing about. So when you become a professional, or you plan on being one, I'm talking about being a professional in your mind before you even get paid for it, understand that everything that you sign up for, you're responsible for. Whatever that job entails, you're responsible for it. And here's the thing, if you didn't know something that job entailed, and then you get in, and then you realize that that's part of the job, and you didn't know up front, you still got to do it, because you signed up for the job. See, when you sign up to be a professional or something, you are, again, committing yourself to everything it entails. And it may be some things that come up that aren't even said at the beginning, but they may get added in as you continue. So anytime that I, for example, put out a job listing, if I'm looking to hire somebody, I always put a note at the bottom of the job listing that says, listen, everything that you see in this document that says what's in the job, this may not be the entire thing. This is not a conclusive list. In the future, 3 months from now, 3 days from now, 3 years from now, I might add a responsibility to this job that will become part of your job description, and you have to do it if you're going to work it. That's the way it works. Any of you has ever played a sport, and especially team sports, for example, because those are the sports that I played. During the middle of the season, your coach might make up a new way to do things, a new play. If you play football or basketball, they might come up with a new play. If you play baseball or softball, you know how the coaches be giving the signals and stuff when the batters are batting? The coach might come up with some new signals in the middle of the season, and you got to learn them. Now, he didn't say that at the beginning of the year when you signed up, but you're responsible for whatever changes that coach puts in while you're on the job. So any job you sign up for, whatever is in it, and whatever gets added to it is also in it. You're responsible for all of it. Just because you're a pro, that's what you signed up for, all of it, even if you didn't know about it. Point number two, the topic here today, for those who came in the middle of this, is that the professionals do not need motivation for what they are doing. Here's the second thing, and here's the reason why you don't need motivation for what you're doing. Number one, you're being paid for it. Let your salary be your motivation, even if you're not motivated by money. And number two, you're being counted on. As a professional, people are paying you because they expect you to not only deliver consistently, but also get it done in a way that they couldn't get it done themselves. This is what they pay you for. All right, people don't pay you to do something that they could probably do just as well, if not better than you, or just as easy as you. Sometimes people do when they just want to buy time. But often when we hire a professional for something, it's because they could do something that we just cannot do. They have capabilities that we don't have. They got tools and resources that we don't have. All right, the toilet gets backed up in my crib. I'm calling a plumber, not because, number one, I don't know how to fix the toilet. But even if I did, I might not want to. So I'll call a plumber and let him get it on his hands and knees and fix the toilet, because I don't want to touch it. When we hire professionals, we're looking for somebody who can do something way better than us and at a level that we just can't do it at. When we go watch a professional football game, a professional basketball game, even if you love playing basketball, if you're not a pro, you go to the Sixers game or the Lakers game or the Thunder game or the Heat game because you expect to see people playing ball at a level that you just can't play at. All right, that's what makes it entertaining, because it's like watching these people do stuff that you just can't do. That's what makes it interesting. I mean, why would you watch it if they're on the same level as you, unless you're scouting or something like that? But for the most part, the people who fill those seats and put butts in the seats are the people who want to see someone doing something that they just cannot do. That's why we pay the professionals. All right? If your phone breaks or your computer breaks, you take it to the Apple Store and let them fix it because you can't fix it. All right? You ain't even got the tools to open the phone up to look and see what the problem is. You don't even know what to do, even if you did know what the problem was. So you pay a professional because they have skills, capabilities, and resources that you do not have. People pay you as a professional for the exact same reason. You are being counted on. That's why they pay you. Therefore, you can't show up one day and say, well, yeah, they're paying me and they're counting on me and they want me to have these resources and tools, but you know what? I'm just not motivated today. I'm just not feeling it today. I just don't have that energy today to do the job that I signed up for. All right, you can't say that. All right, that ain't gonna work. All right, that don't make no sense. That's not gonna fly. You're not gonna have a job for a long time if you do that. Some days you ain't gonna feel like it. Some days you're not gonna have that energy. Some days you didn't get any sleep the night before. You still gotta show up and do your job. Why? Because people are paying you for it. That's what makes you, by the letter, a professional, but it's also what makes you, by the spirit, a professional, because you always show up and do your job even when you don't feel great. Point number 3. And on top of that, actually, one more thing on point number 2. I mean, you got a family and kids and yourself that you got to take care of as well. I mean, this is your main paid occupation. So if you don't do your job, you don't have a job, and how you going to eat? Anyway, point number 3. For those who came in the middle, we're talking today about why professionals do not need motivation for what they're doing. The professionals showing up every single day and doing their job and delivering at a consistent level, a high level, and doing it consistently. So they're better than the average person. They're better than the people who are paying them, and they're better all the time. It's not like they're better just once in a while or once a week or whenever they get hyped or excited. The professional is always better than average, always delivers at a high level, and they do it consistently. You always know that it's going to happen. The reason why is because that's what separates the pros from the amateurs. As I just said, the spirit of the definition of professional is a person who shows up consistently and delivers no matter what they are feeling. The amateur may be somebody who's just good, maybe just as good. An amateur could be just as good as a professional skill-wise or talent-wise or have the same tools or have the same resources. The difference between the amateur and the professional is that you can't count on the amateur. You don't know if or when the amateur is going to show up. You have no idea what level the amateur is going to deliver at. You don't know if the amateur is going to be just as good today as they were the day before or the last week. The professional, you pay them with the inherent understanding that they're getting paid to be just as good as they always are every single day. That's the whole point of paying a professional, is that they're so good, you know they're going to be good every single time. That's why you pay. An amateur, you don't pay anything. You get it for free, so you don't know if they're going to be good or not. They might show up, they might not, but you can't complain because you didn't pay for it. A professional doesn't show up and do their job. You can complain, you can call customer service, you can demand a refund. What do y'all do? Whenever you pay for something and they don't do their job, you complain about it, right? And you should, because when you pay, it's coming with the understanding, it's the unwritten contract that they're going to deliver at a certain level consistently that you can expect and you can count on. And when a professional doesn't do it, we raise hell, right? As customers, we all do it. As clients, we all do it when the pro doesn't show up. If the amateur doesn't show up, we just got to shrug our shoulders. All right, they're an amateur. That's the reason why they're an amateur. You want to be a pro at what you do. That means people are going to be paying you. That means there's an expectation that comes with that check that you are going to deliver at a certain level every single time, and that's why you're the pro. That's why you're not an amateur. That's why people pay you. That's why people show up and depend on you and expect certain things from you. And this is why professionals do not need motivation. Professionals depend on discipline, not motivation. Our motivation is for children. Kids need motivation. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with saying something that may be motivational. I mean, some of the things that I say, people are like, man, it's motivational, it's getting me going, it's inspiring me, all good. But I want you to understand, if you want to be a pro, it's not always going to be a motivational YouTube video for you to watch. If you want to be a pro, somebody's not going to give you a motivational hype up every morning. If you're a pro, you can't, you ain't gonna be always able to listen to your playlist of get excited music before you got to do your job. And if you're depending on any of those, even if they are available, if you're depending on one of those, they become a crutch. Now all of a sudden, the real professional is the YouTube video or the speaker or the music, because they're the thing that's getting you going. It's not you that's getting you going. You're not a real pro. A real pro is always ready to deliver at a certain level because they're a pro. That's the only reason. It doesn't have to be the check or the fans or the followers or none of that. It's just the fact that they are a pro. It is a way of being. As I told you at the beginning of this, is a way of being, is a way of thinking, is a way of approaching life. It is not about how much money you make or how many followers you got or how many products you sold. All of those things come with it. Understand? You understand what I'm saying? And notice the way that I'm wording this. All of those things come with being a professional. It's not you get them and then say I'm a professional now because I got this, this, and this. No, no, no. You do it. That's what makes you a professional. You be it. And because you're being it, you do it. That's what makes you a professional. Then you start having all the trappings of professional success. They come afterwards. And if you get them up front before you have earned it, then you better make sure you pay back what you owe. You owe the game what you already been paid. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all follow the metaphor I'm giving you there. So now let me recap these points. I'm going to tell you how you can get both of these books right here for free right now, if you so choose. The topic again today is professionals do not need motivation. This is all under the be, do, have principle. A lot of people know what they want to have in life, then they start doing stuff. The problem is they never ask themselves, who do I need to be before I start taking action? That is the step that most people never take. I'm telling you about it so you can start taking that step. Ask yourself, what type of person do I need to be when I'm taking these actions in order to get the outcomes that I want in life? If you ask yourself that question, just take that extra step and write it down. Who do I need to be as a person? That will help color the type of actions you take. Then that will help you get give you a much clearer picture on getting the kind of outcomes that you want to get in your life. And I talked about that principle in this book right here. I'll tell you about this in a minute. And I touched on it also here in this book here. So again, point number one, you signed up for this. When you're a professional, you sign up for all of the job, not just the parts that you want. Point number two, you're being counted on. Your friends are counting on you, your family's counting on you, your customers count on you, your bosses, your coworkers, even your employees, the people who work for you, they're counting on you. Because if you don't show up and do your job, how are they going to be able to do their job? And point number three, this is what separates the pros from the amateurs. The pro and the amateur is separated by the simple fact, not by talent, not necessarily by skill. Sometimes by both, but not necessarily. The main thing that separates the pro from the amateur is that the professional shows up and delivers consistently no matter how he or she is feeling, no matter what he or she's circumstances are. That's what the pro does. The amateur, you can't count on for that. The professional, you can count on for that. And anyone who you can't count on for that, they are not a true professional. All that being said, let me tell you about these books right here. And while I'm telling you, if you got a question, go ahead and post it in the comment section. I will address it today. This book right here is called The Mirror of Motivation, what I just talked about. This is the self-guide, the self-discipline. I told you the pros don't need motivation. The reason I call it The Mirror of Motivation, but I gave the subtitle, the self-guide, the self-discipline, because that's what it's really about. But if I called it The Mirror of Discipline, it might not be as exciting to people. So I'm letting the cat out the bag right out front. This book is designed for the people who want to do what I just described. You want to be a different person, not do more stuff, but be a different person. So when you do the stuff that you're already doing, if it's the right stuff, you're going to get completely different results. If that sounds like the type of person you want to be, if you want to step out of the old you and step into a new being, which will lead to different actions, which leads to completely different results, 10xing your results in life. If you want that, you want to be that person, go to mirrorofmotivation.com. Tell me where to ship this book. I have already paid for the book. All you do is take care of the shipping. Mirrorofmotivation.com. This book right here, it's called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This one is specifically for the player who wants to play professional basketball overseas, but maybe you come from a small school, maybe you didn't play in school at all, maybe you've been overlooked and underrated your whole life, but you want that opportunity because you feel like you have the talent to play ball overseas. Even if, again, you've never had an opportunity, you just need somebody to give you a chance, I'm going to show you how to get that chance. I'm going to show you how to take advantage of that chance, and I'm going to show you how to make a career out of your basketball talent. If you want that, go to balloverseas.com. balloverseas.com. Get your free copy of this book. It's a 237-page book. I've already paid for the book. All you do is take care of the shipping. Go to balloverseas.com if you want to play professional basketball overseas while you still have the opportunity to do so, while your body can still do it. Now I'm going to answer questions if we got any questions. I'm not sure we got any questions here, but if there are any, I will address them. Let's see what we got here. My name is Dre Baldwin, for those who don't know, also known as Dre All Day. My homepage is dreallday.com, but I have several domain names, which I already told you, 3 of them already. The Ballaholic says, I'm starting a basketball training business. What are some steps I recommend for you to get started? I only give you one step to get started, Ballaholic, is to go get some clients. Because until you got clients, you ain't got no business. And if you already got clients, go get some more. And whatever clients you have, serve them to the highest level you possibly can. That's the only thing that's going to keep your business going, is serving clients. Now, there are details and nuances that can go into that, of course. Now, am I going to explain all of that to you right now? No. But you need clients. It's the most important thing you need. If you run out of clients, nothing else is going to save you. He said a B-do had one of the favorites that you learned. That's what's up. Shout out to people who heard me talk about that before. Matt T.A. said, you ever win a championship during your playing career? Professionally, ever win a championship? Not a whole season. Not a whole season championship. We won some like in-season tournament stuff like that. But in recreational leagues, I won several championships. So let me tell you about these books one more time. Let me tell you about this book right here. Work on Your Game. This is using the pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. This book is where I wanted to take all the stuff that I talk about, and I wanted to make one book where I talk about the whole philosophy. Now, this is not every single thing I've ever talked about in this one book, because that book will be 5,000 pages. This is a 250-page book, hardcover, where I give you the entire framework of what the philosophy is about. Discipline, confidence, mental toughness, personal initiative, and how that applies to business, sports, and life. How you deal with other people, how to deal with your mind, how to deal in business, how to deal in anywhere that you go in life, every area of life. I talked about my own experiences, how I learned these things, and how you can apply this framework to anything that you do. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be an author. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. The frameworks in this book apply to anyone, because I had the skill of explaining and articulating how the mindset that I use in one area can be used in other areas. That's just a skill of mine, and that's why I write books. So workonyourgamebook.com. That's the website to get this book. Workonyourgamebook.com. Not only are you going to get this book, I'm going to send you $1,300 in free digital bonuses that you get immediate access to. So while you're waiting for the book to come in the mail, you get access to over $1,200 of free digital bonuses right now today. Then the book's going to come in the mail in a moment, and then you'll have all of that together at workonyourgamebook.com. So I got another question someone asked. How do you feel about giving free sessions to someone? I've heard you speak about valuing your product, but I don't know. If you're not quite known yet, Ballaholic, then you can get some free sessions. I mean, I'm giving y'all a free session right now. If you're not quite known yet, or even if you are, you could give a free session every now and then just to build up your clientele and get some people to know who you are. But once you get to the point that you can charge and people are consistently paying you, then you need to start paying. But you need to come up with a strategy for how you're going to do that, what you're going to do that you're going to charge for, what you're going to do that you're going to do for free. Like this right here, live streams, I'll do live streams for free. Now, that's just a decision that I made. I will do live streams for free. But if you want the full content in my daily masterclass called Work on Your Game, you got to get in the membership, which you got to pay. Your first 2 weeks are free, but then after that, you got to pay. If you want one of these books, I'm telling you, if you want one of these books, I give it to you free. You just take care of the shipping. If you want some other things from me, if you want me to coach or consult you one-on-one, then you got to pay. So you just got to decide, you just got to draw the lines in your business. What are you going to do for free, and what are you going to charge for? So it's just a decision that you have to make. It's not like a universal thing, like everybody has to do the same thing. You just got to decide what your thing's going to be. Imano said, why did I watch Kobe's videos before my games? Well, who told you that I did? If I said that, maybe because I like Kobe. Why not? I mean, what other reason would there be? Swan says, do you think that we can progress at the same time using affirmations, using affirmations to the subconscious mind? Well, progress is made by action. I mean, affirmations can help you. It can help the way that you think or feel. But actual progress is made by action. So the affirmation itself does not make you progress. Again, the only thing that makes you progress is you actually achieving something through action. You're welcome, Ballaholic. Appreciate you. All right, one more time, these books. Mirror of Motivation, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. The book is already paid for. MirrorofMotivation.com. The book's paid for. You take care of the shipping. I got you. BallOverseas.com, the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. The book's paid for. You take care of the shipping. This right here, Work on Your Game. Use a pro athlete mindset to dominate game, business, sports, and life. Hardcover book, $1,200 in free bonuses if you get it at WorkOnYourGameBook.com. You don't get the bonuses if you go to Amazon or Audible or any of those others. You only get the bonuses at WorkOnYourGameBook.com. We do these lives every single day, 5:15 p.m. Eastern. Those of you who don't know, turn on notification, put a calendar note in your phone. That's 5:15 p.m. Eastern every day. Somebody asked me, I see something about what President Trump. Yeah, I saw it, but we ain't even getting into that. I can't even get into those things. I made my statement about the situation that happened with George Floyd in Minnesota a couple days ago. Until we get more information, more concrete info, I'm definitely not going into what nobody said on social media. I don't care who it was, because that's a rabbit hole that I don't even get involved in. How y'all think I write books? By being on social media, looking at what people saying? No. By being on this computer and working. So anyway, everybody, live stream 5:15 p.m. Eastern every single day. Everybody have a great Friday, great weekend. Work on your game. We out here.